Mariya, first I wanted you to tell me, what's the last few days been like for you?
Honestly, the last few days really feel like it's been a few months because there's so much that has happened over the last few days, and it's all just a big blur. I feel like we're still, trying to wake up from all of this, that all of this is actually like a nightmare that we need to wake up from because we're just in shock and we don't know what's going to come tomorrow, and what will happen.
Bogdan, how about you? How have you been coping with this attack on your country?
It's definitely something that I was not prepared when I was applying for this job, and it's very intense and very hard emotionally. You can see that people don't sleep well. People they have to organize we have to organize our military unit very fast. We have to receive as many refugees as we can, and our infrastructure was definitely not ready for that. So it's like full-time adrenaline experience.
Now, Mariya, you're both heading up the emergency response and organizing a local territorial defense unit. So tell me a little bit more about that.
So the local territorial defense is actually my husband. He's the one that is dealing with this part. I'm mainly focusing on the humanitarian aid for both our local community as well as for the soldiers from our community that have gone to the front lines. First of all, we're so thankful to our community and to people in general because they have united together like no other, really. The second day, people were just bringing everything that they have. Donations to help, first of all, the soldiers that have gone to the front lines, as well as the internally displaced people that are, either crossing through our community or staying in our community. As well, our diaspora all over the world has been activated, started to collect funds to help on the front lines, as well as our community. And not only the funds, we have people, in Poland that are helping to gather packages that are, coming in via trains through the border from Przemyśl to Lviv, which we're receiving and, providing it for our community.
And to that point, Bogdan, I wanted to ask you, how are you feeling about the response from the international community?
It's hard to follow the news, because I'm so busy with this forming the military unit, because we have to basically, with no previous experience at all, we're just civilians who are just at this position. We have to organize this as fast as we can, to have at least something, at least some combat, at least some army that we can protect ourselves. But from what I've heard about, the international response is huge, and I'm really thankful for that. But at the same time, I feel like this war is not only ours. This world is a challenge to the global world, to the global community, and we all have to deal with that. So it just happened that it's here, but we're doing our best to play our role in this situation.
And I do want to ask you, being the mayor of Kopychyntsi, how much responsibility do you feel to stay there and put in these efforts that you are?
That's a lot of responsibility, and I feel like I'm still processing, and I'm still processing what is going on, because it's a lot, because we are, for instance, my responsibility is to draft people to the army. So we have to send people to war, and
our friends,
our friends, our relatives, people that we know, our colleagues. For instance, yesterday, one person who was the head of the hospital, he died already. And today we had a funeral 10 kilometers from our town. And this is the person I knew. And I know him because we were buying oxygen generators for COVID patients together, And now the COVID story is somewhere like in the past. It's not the highest priority in this area anymore, and I feel like huge responsibility what I'm doing right now.
I can't even imagine how difficult that must be for both of you to be sending your friends to fight in this war. How are you processing it, Mariya?
It's really hard. It's really hard, first of all, that we have to live through all of this. Like, we're both just 30-year-olds, I feel like we should have our entire lives in front of us. And here we are, fighting for our lives. Our friends are fighting for our lives, for our freedom. As well, just we lived in Kiev for 2 years, and just to watch all of the bombarding and the shelling and all the air raids happening, our friends are sending us pictures like, here's my apartment, it's gone, it's not there anymore. And it's incredibly difficult.
What are those conversations like?
First of all, they're very brief. Usually it's over text messaging because we're getting, hundreds of calls a day, hundreds of messages a day. It's hard to process all the information. I'm not even mentioning the news that we have to keep up with, right? We have to know what's happening in the country, whether, we have a threat coming in our region. So the phones are just buzzing nonstop. And, we're not even getting sleep. I feel like in the last 6-7 days, we haven't had more than 3 hours of sleep per night.
Bogdan, I had asked you what responsibility you felt, of course, being the mayor of Kopychyntsi. So I do wonder if it has at all, because I know Mariya is a Canadian citizen, has it at all crossed your mind to leave Ukraine?
Not yet. I think it's impossible right now at this stage because it's not just living like for our lives. This is like you're living your community, and this is literally you living your community because, as Mariya mentioned before, there's so many phone calls, so many conversations, so many plans, and so many ideas how to defend our land, how to send some more of the humanitarian aid to the front lines, how to support our friends. We also currently, we're also hosting a family of our friends, of people from Crimea, the Crimean Tatars, who actually have to flee for the second time already in the past 10 years. So it's impossible at this moment. I don't see any how we can do that.
What's your hope for the coming days?
For me.
For both of us, I guess.
Both of you, please.
For peace, we want this to end.
Yeah.
We have air raid warnings happening in our region at least 2, 3, 4 times a day. Today we've had it twice. So between the air raid warnings, while we have to take cover and go underground, we're trying to work, and not all of the areas have like Wi-Fi or connection. So we have to sit there for an hour, not connected to the world, not knowing what's happening, waiting until we can get out and hopefully not get bombarded. It's incredibly just difficult to live through all of this, and we just want it to end. We just want peace.
Yeah, and my friend, who's working with me at the city hall, he just said today, I hope we'll wake up soon.
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping for. We hope to wake up